go over, there's really only about 2 or 3 things you need to know about Hawaiian songs, believe it or not, and I'm going to go over the first couple of them. Go to the page that says Hawaiian Turnarounds, Classic Vamp. So that is like the basic thing that you want to know to make a song sound Hawaiian, which is your Hawaiian vamp or turnaround. So in this case, I want you to look at the example. You see that? It says example vamp in C. You all see it, and it says D7, G7, C. You see that? All right, so that's two strums on D7, 2 strums on G7, and 4 strums on the C. And that's your introduction, and then you start playing a song, and it sounds Hawaiian. So you guys were playing Beautiful Kauai, I think, right? Just if you want to kind of make it more Hawaiian, it was in the key of C, if I remember. I think I looked at it, right? Yeah, so just play the D7, G7, C, and then start into the song. So, Joe, you want to lead that? One more time. And then you start off. All right, so that's it. Okay, did you that beautiful Kauai? So that's it. That makes it Hawaiian sounding. Well, so the other one I'm going to show you then is the G7, A7. Okay, that's it. So let's try that all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, A7. Excellent. One more time. Here we go. A7, D7, and G. That's it. So you play that over and over, and that is your vamp, and you sound Hawaiian right there. And there's a strum, and I can't. We're kind of, we don't have enough time, but you do that plus the strum, which is it's like a triplet. And that's Hawaiian. You guys want to try that? Let's try that. That's good. You guys are going to be Hawaiian ukulele players any minute now. So it's 1, 2, 3, okay? And that is like 2. 1, 2, 3. All right, everyone, let's just do that. I'm going to start 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Holy moly, that's it. You guys got it. That's called the Olapa strum. All right, no, I'm serious. That is Hawaiian as it gets. You know where that came from? Anyone know where that came from? That strum really is from. I'm going to give you some history because I think that's really something that is important when you understand about the ukulele, because it is from Hawaii and it has a deep, rich cultural history. But before the Westerners came, Hawaiians did have music. It was chanting. So if you ever go see a show about Hawaii, hopefully they'll also do what's called kahiko, or the old ancient hula, which is about chanting. And so you see those big gourds. You ever saw those things? You ever been to Hawaii and they had that? And you ever heard this? Anyone ever heard that? Yeah, that's it. Okay, that strum that I showed, the Olapa strum, was meant to go along with that. You see that? You see how it kind of fits in? How it goes along. Awesome. You guys are awesome. So you guys are like halfway to being Hawaiian players. So that is it. That is where that Olapa strum came, because they wanted to go along with the ipu, the gourd. And the ancient dances had no Western music. They didn't have ukuleles. They didn't have guitars. They didn't have bass or steel guitars. But they did have the ipu, and that's how they chanted. And so, He ho'oheno ke ike aku ke kai mo wana nuila. That's what they would do, okay? So that's where that chanting came from, and then they picked up that Olapa strum, which you guys, I'm amazed. Awesome. That is what you just picked up, that. So I'm going to play a song for you called Ka'ulavehi o ke kai, which is about the seaweed and picking seaweed. And then what you would have is you would have a hula dancer, okay? And do you guys know what hula dancers are really doing? They're not just waving their arms. They're telling a story with what? Their hands. Awesome, right. So they're telling a story with their hands, and each of their hand movements and body movements are really representing a part of the story. It could be the rain, it could be the sea, the ocean, and so forth. And in this one, if you ever see them, you see them kind of with this motion. They're picking seaweed from the sea, and this is called Ka'ulavehi o Kekai. There's that vamp. Kekai mo ana nui la, nui ke aloha hi ipo'ine, me ke ala o kali po a. The vamp. He poa I pae I ke one hinu hila, vela I kala ke he hi I kai mana o he pono ke then the vamp, the last verse. Haina mai kapuana, kalipoa me kalimuko, hoa pili o e me kapahe e, anoni me kalipalu. So that's it. That is the Hawaiian song. Hello. Heard that song before? Yeah. Awesome. So that is all about picking seaweed. So the next part I want to go over real quick. At the bottom of that same turnaround, okay, it talks about the structure of a Hawaiian song. And so the classic, what do I want to call it, modern Hawaiian song, after the Westerners came and after hula came back, you know, the Merry Monarch, he brought back the hula, the ancient arts, into society, of Hawaiian society. And they structured it, I don't know why, I wish I could tell you, but they structured it such that it's always, they repeat the verse. And Joe, you probably know this. They call it 2-2-2. So they go all the way down the verses and they keep repeating it. So if I was playing this Hawaiian song, I would just repeat it, you know. He ho hendo ke ike aku, and then just repeat that one more time. I don't know why, just because maybe, you know, they figured they didn't get it the first time, so they get it second time. But they repeat it all the way through. So when you're hearing a Wana hula song, just listen for that. They'll sing the verse over and over again. And then at the end, you know, like you sang on that last song that Joe led, you hear a haina mai kapuana. Do you know what guys that means in there?
Like this is the story we're going to tell it again.
Yeah, this is the story, and here's what the story was about. And so that's why you always hear at the end. I always, when I was growing up, and going, "Where's that hyena mai kapuana?" Always coming in. That's because they're saying, you know, here's my story about the seaweed, and this is my telling of it. And that's basically what hyena mai kapuana is about. So that's basically all about the Hawaiian songs in a nutshell. And I have, on the flip side, I have one more Hawaiian song, but before I do that, what else you guys are curious about Hawaii or Hawaiian songs or playing the ukulele in general?
How do we get in contact with you if we want to take private lessons?
Wow, thank you so much. That's like a softball pitch here. I just passed out some cards, so you can contact me. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me. I give private lessons over at the Denver Folklore Center. Also, next month is going to be Skype month. So if any of you like to use Skype, anyone signs up with a lesson on Skype, it's a free lesson month. So I'll send out an email to you guys. I'm on your mailing list. I always get those. Those are awesome. How many going back and forth and so forth. So I have that. And I also have people who are starting, or if you know someone who wants to start and they just don't have time to take lessons, I have video lessons too, so you can go on. There's a whole video course that you can go through. So that's like $20 a month. So it's a real good way to do it.